Hi, I'm Leigh Bortons, founder of Classical Conversations, and this is a segment called Let's Ask Leigh, where I invite leaders in classical conversations to ask me a question. I have my new friends from Chicago, Talisa, Darnetta, and Stephanie. So thanks for being with me. Stephanie, I heard you have a question.
Yeah, sure. I would love to hear how you would encourage parents to step up and take leadership positions in CC, like directing, starting new communities, tutoring, helping out, and just taking that next step.
Yeah. I think C.S. Lewis has the best answer to that. He responded to that kind of a question in just the general field of ministry, and about how we daydream as Christians of being ministers in deepest Africa or over in China, when actually we have opportunities to be missionaries right here. And since our mission is to know God and to make Him known, I just really encourage people who maybe feel like, no, this is some academic program, to remember that, no, actually it's a mission program where we're learning how to love the Lord with our minds. And that I think that's why you three have been in service for so long and been with us for so long, that you see it's the ministry aspect. So just reminding people that there's a lot more to it. And you're nodding, would you agree that there's?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So help us on our mission to know God and make Him known is a better answer than maybe, I don't know how to teach Latin. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. My question goes a little along those same lines with how would you encourage moms whose kids are moving into those challenge years, who might feel a little intimidated about leading their children in those years, in those high school years?
Yes, except for situations where adoption occurs, the majority of us have our babies from the time that they're born, and we're learning right along with them. And it's just odd to me that people would think the day that my child's 12 and one day, all of a sudden I'm inadequate, but when they were 12 minus 1 day old, I was adequate. What happens to our confidence? And the world does put a lot of pressure on us. There's a lot of things to consider. But remember, the whole joy of the classical model itself is that you're just teaching grammar, dialectic, and rhetoric. You are not teaching Latin or math or the various subjects. You're teaching how to learn, and that's something every parent can do, because I know you learn every single day something new. So if they would focus on what we're really trying to do in the classical arts over the content, they would find that when your child's 12 or 15 and 3 days old, you can still do it. Yeah, it comes in little steps, right? Not everything all at once. How about you?
Parents to stay on track as far as their commitment to homeschooling. I find that parents feel inadequate, just like Darnetta had said, and they test their kids into other programs that says classical, but not quite.
Yeah. Yes. The thing is, you just gotta decide what is the cultural stand that you want to make as a servant of Christ. And do you trust that our Father's the one with the cattle on the hill and our provision? Or does He think somebody's better than you to raise your children? It doesn't mean we don't want to help each other. That's why we have community. But the abandonment of our responsibility to somebody else in the long run will hurt us. And it's just no surprise that more than 80% of children from Christian families turn their backs on God as young adults. And one of the reasons I believe they do that is because just when they were finally able to be adult-like and pay attention to us and be interested in what we're doing as adults, because they know they're going to be one day and you're going to kick them out of the house, that's when we kick them out, like 3 or 4 years too early, when they really would be interested in what we had to say. And we forget about that. So it's usually the older ones, but you're also talking about some of the younger families too. And so again, having that vision that education is about virtue and the soul, and I want all my children, I want all of your children to have fat souls. I want them to be so full of the Spirit and so full of God's Word and so full of the love of their family that they're brimming over with Christ. And there is no institution that's going to make that happen for your children. It's you and your church. You're giving up responsibilities you shouldn't give up if you do something else. Okay? Thanks, gals. Those are good questions.
Thank you.